Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at another figure from Hasbro's Armour Up series of Force Awakens figures. And in today's review we are going to take a look at the First Order TIE Fighter Pilot Elite. This is, this is a doozy. I'm going to talk about this one in a little bit more detail in just a little bit. But let me tell you this, if you had a blast watching my rant/review on the First Order TIE Fighter vehicle from The Force Awakens, you're in with a treat with this one, because this is perhaps one of the most poorly designed figures from the Armour Up range so far. Really not impressed with this one. Really glad I was able to pick it up at discount. Just not impressed in several ways with this one, and I'll talk about why in just a little bit. Before I do, as always, we're going to take a look at the packaging with this figure. As you can see, once again, standard Force Awakens packaging design with Kylo Ren and the Force Awakens logo at the top. Down the side of the box you've got some really cool artwork of the TIE Fighter pilot himself, and then on the back you've got some other Armour Up figures available in the line, as well as an image of the figure. As you can see, other figures available include Poe Dameron, Kylo Ren, FN2187 and Chewbacca. I have reviewed these three, so be sure to check them out in my Force Awakens playlist if you haven't done so already. And yeah, that is the packaging. Really nice. It's a shame really that the packaging is much better than the figure in this instance. Because this one had the potential to be oh so much better, but it isn't. It's just not good. This is of course the figure itself, and as you can probably see, what is going on? Hasbro have really fudged this one. I'm really not sure what's going on with it. Again, it had potential to be really cool, but the overall execution of this one just backs up my claim that the Armour Up line is such a hit and miss line. Some figures are great from this line, such as the Kylo Ren figure was decent. FN2187 as well was amazing. This one is just poor, really poor. The Armour Up piece itself looks fantastic, but when it's placed on the figure, it looks too. I don't even know where to start with this one, guys. It's just absolutely awful. My main gripe with this one, so we'll cover the issues first, is the fact that, as you can see, the breathing apparatus that's incorporated into the Armour Up piece completely covers up the head. It just sits so awkwardly on this figure. As you can see from the image on the box, it's supposed to act as breathing apparatus, it's supposed to cover up the mouth of the figure, but it just engulfs the entire head and it just looks so awkward. Really weird. It's almost as though it doesn't sit far enough down. To get it to resemble anything like it does on the packaging, you've got to sort of tilt the figure's head up, which again just looks incredibly awkward. And by doing so, it just renders the chest box and the slot on the Armour Up piece in which it's supposed to attach to completely obsolete. It doesn't clip in, and when it does, it just sort of tends to spring out. As I said, if you clip the Armour Up piece into the chest box, then you've got the breathing apparatus on the Armour Up piece just engulfing the head, not sitting where it needs to. And if you unplug the chest box, then you've just got, just a floating chest box which doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And I think that's my main issue with this figure, is the fact that it just doesn't do what it's supposed to. It doesn't look like it does on the box. It's been poorly designed, and it's almost as though Hasbro have just sat on the conveyor belt with this piece and just gone, yeah, that looks fantastic. That looks awesome. Let's put that out to retail. It just doesn't do the job for me. Again, it had the potential to be really cool. This was, if it had have done the job, it was going to be one of my favourite Armour Up figures released. But I don't know. It just doesn't look great. Please leave me a comment down below, guys, if you've had the same issues as me. If your figure looks like it does on the box, then I'd love to hear from you. But for this one, it just doesn't hit the mark. It just defines why the Armour Up line is a little bit of a hit and miss line in many ways. In terms of design though, aesthetic, it could have been great. I really like the Armour Up piece in itself if it worked properly. It represents a sort of oxygen space sort of suit. I don't know, it's a weird combination. It's almost as though, if a TIE fighter was to crash or explode in space, but somehow the TIE pilot survived, with this gear he'd be able to float through space and survive and make it back to the Star Destroyer. But yeah, again, had the potential to be great, but just isn't. So That's a bit of a shame, but as you can see, it does reflect sort of a jetpack spacesuit type of concept, which, you know, again, strong concept, just weak execution. As you can see on the armour up piece itself, you've got the text there, very similar to the First Order Snowtroopers. You've got the space there for the chest box, which doesn't work. And the armour up piece itself can thankfully be removed to give you a standard TIE Fighter pilot underneath. Now, this figure is a repaint of the Build-A-Weapon TIE Fighter pilot figure, which I'm a huge fan of. I think that's one of the best figures in the basic line. I really love the differences in colour between the armour and the jumpsuit. It makes it really stand out. And with this figure, you do have the A stripes on the front of the helmet, which just look really, really nice. And of course, these do reflect the pilot that chases Rey and Finn through the Star Destroyer wreckage on Jakku in the movie, which is really nice. Articulation wise, this figure does feature the standard 5 points. We've got a ball joint at the head, swivels at the shoulders and swivels at the hips, and as you can see, he does come with the standard First Order blaster pistol, which the camera doesn't want to focus in on for some reason. There we go. And of course, you've got the First Order emblem on each shoulder. So a decent figure. I must admit, there is a better version of this guy available in the, I believe it's the Battle Damage TIE Fighter that's Toys R Us exclusive. That's obviously a repaint of the removable helmet TIE Pilot, which is much better than this one. But, you know, if you want to get a cheaper option, because I think the TIE Fighter is something like $39.99, then this is the one to go for. And again, it's a really nice figure once you remove that hideous armour up piece. Again, really don't know what was going through the mind of Hasbro when they approved this one. Quality control. This one should have gone back to the drawing board and they should have said, right, we're going to redesign this one and actually execute it properly. But instead, this is what we're given. Just a clunky, ugly, weird looking figure. I really don't know what else to say to describe this one, but yeah, there he is. Again, glad I didn't pay full price for this one. With the hype from Star Wars The Force Awakens dying down, that obviously means clearance sales, and this was one of the products I was able to pick up on the cheap. Really glad that I did, as again, if I'd paid full price for this one, I'd have been severely stung. But there we go, it is what it is. Decent figure if you can look past the issues, but let me tell you, they're a little bit difficult too. But there we go. It is what it is. So I'd probably give this one a miss, guys. Although if you are, for whatever reason, persuaded to pick this one up, there is a link down below in the video description where you can do so. So there we are. The First Order TIE Fighter Pilot Elite. Weird wording for a weird figure. As you can see, that's how this one is named on the packaging. Would have made more sense, in my opinion, to call him an Elite TIE Fighter Pilot, but who am I to question Lucasfilm, you know? There it is. So that is the First Order TIE Fighter Pilot Elite from the Armour Up series. I hope you enjoyed having a look at this figure. And if you're looking for the perfect companion to the absolute horrendous vehicle that was the TIE Fighter, then this one is your go-to figure. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed having a look at this one. I'll be back with more figure reviews very soon. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and until next time, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.